Looking back at this past year, I've found that I'm a very impulsive buyer and only dedicated to games I really care about. If it's something I'm only half interested in, it's not happening. 2021 was a strange year in gaming for me. I really didn't jump into any new games. This was due to a few reasons. One reason is that I'm not traveling as much for work. This has cut down my playtime significantly. Instead of waiting around in airports and sitting in a chair in the sky, I was able to be home more and do more things there. Also, I haven't purchased any of the new consoles. I haven't even seen an Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 in person. I love that there's been a new gaming generation that I haven't been able to be a part of. I've decided that I'm going to just have to play Xbox games on my PC through Game Pass. Microsoft is even advertising this above the empty shelves where their consoles should be sitting. So like a true survivor, I'm adapting to my current environment. I've had the opportunity to get the Xbox Series S, but I don't think I'm ready to go all digital just yet. I'm going to hold on to my physical media as long as possible, and nobody will talk me out of it. Instead of playing all the hyped up new games, I went back and played some of my all-time favorites. I also played some retro games for the first time, from the Switch all the way back to the NES. I'm going to go over the games I played and what consoles I picked up. Here's what I was up to in 2021. I played quite a few games this year. I know there are others that put me to shame, but for me, this was a good gaming year. Some games I played only to make a video about them, and others I played just for the sake of playing them. Here's the list of games I played, but first I've categorized them into 3 categories. Games I just started and put down almost immediately, I'll call them games I started. The games I played a good portion of but didn't finish, I'll categorize those as games I played. And the games I beat, I'll indicate by saying beat it. Let's do this rapid fire game award style. Crypt of the Necrodancer, started it. Blazing Chrome, started it. Castlevania on the NES, played it. Metroid on the NES, started it. Metroid 2, Return of Samus on the Game Boy, started it. Donkey Kong Country 3, played it. Super Mario 64, started it. Mario Kart Double Dash, played it. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, played it. Breath of the Wild,
beat it.
Link's Awakening,
Beat it.
Donkey Kong Country,
Beat it.
Donkey Kong Country 2,
Beat it.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze,
Beat it.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 plus 2,
Beat it.
Metroid Zero Mission,
Beat it.
Metroid Samus Returns,
Beat it.
Super Metroid,
Beat it. Beat it.
that's right, 3 times, Metroid Fusion,
Beat it.
and Metroid Dread.
Beat it.
Crypt of the Necrodancer was the game chosen for the Tynology Video Game Book Club, which I happen to be a part of. I started it and quickly put it down. It's not that I didn't like it, it's just not something I want to invest my time into. And in that moment, I chose to do something else. Blazing Chrome is awesome. I played the first 2 levels and loved it. It's pretty much a Contra game, and I love Contra. I just never went back to it. There's no real reason why, I just didn't click on it again. I'll eventually go back and play through it. I've always been fascinated by the Castlevania games. It's one of the classic gaming franchises I haven't played a single game from. I decided to play through the games in the order that they were released. I played a good portion of the first game, and it's really good. The controls are quite stiff and take a little while to get used to, but I like it. I just didn't have the attention span to get to the end. I'll most likely go back to it when I get my physical copy of the Anniversary Collection from Limited Run. When Metroid Dread was announced, I got fixated on playing through all the games. And like Castlevania, I wanted to do it in the order of when they were released. However, I didn't quite do that, but I'll talk about that later. I tried playing the original Metroid, but I couldn't get into it. The controls are a bit stiff and also floaty when Samus jumps. It's not really to my taste. Also, navigating is very confusing because there's no in-game map. Rooms and corridors also look the same, making it a mess to figure out where you are. It was a hard no for me on this, and I put it down for good. I had the same feeling about Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, though it's better than the original Metroid, and I played it for a longer period of time. But again, it's quite outdated, and I didn't see the need to continue on as there's a remake I ended up playing instead. If you watched my last video, you know that I've never beat Donkey Kong Country 3. It's one of those games I've started many times but never finished. 2022 will be the year I beat Donkey Kong Country 3. Mark my words. Super Mario 64 is the same story as Donkey Kong Country 3. I've started it a bunch of times, but never stuck through it to the end. Check out my last video for more details about that. I played Mario Kart Double Dash for the first time in 2021. It's a great game, and I liked it so much I made a video about it. Go check out that video if you care to know what else I think about it. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury was fun to play. I didn't beat it, but I played it for quite a while. I made a video about it and everything. It was fun to compare the Switch version to the Wii U game. The Switch version is definitely better. I started playing Breath of the Wild again in 2020. This was my third playthrough. I finished it this year and it's still amazing. I haven't 100%ed the game, and I'm okay with that. I'm not finding all those Korok seeds. Link's Awakening is one of my go-to games when I need something to play. I don't really care which version either. This year I played the one on the Switch. I like the art style and the quality of life improvements. It's a lovely game and I recommend it to everyone. Donkey Kong Country is one of my favorite games of all time. Luckily, it was also chosen for the Tynology Video Game Book Club. It gave me an excuse to play it again, which led me into playing Donkey Kong Country 2, another one of my favorites. These two games are phenomenal, and it baffles me that I can't get into Donkey Kong Country 3. But you know what I can get into? Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I figured I would play this one too while I was playing the Donkey Kong Country games. I can't express how much I love this game. It's simply amazing. The music, visuals, control, level designs, everything. If you haven't played it, go get it and play it now. It also looks fantastic on the OLED Switch screen. As a kid, I was all about the first two Tony Hawk games. When I heard that they were remaking them, it was a must-buy for me. I originally beat them on the PS4 in 2020, but this year I had the chance to play them on my Switch. So I did it and loved it. These are awesome games and I could play them over and over without getting sick of them, because I have. This was the year I finally played through the Metroid series. Until 2021, I hadn't played through any Metroid game. I had started a few, but never seriously played through any of them. When Metroid Dread was announced, I decided to play through all of them. I actually started with Super Metroid, because it was also chosen for the book club. I played it on the Switch with the Rewind feature. I know, I'm a sellout, but that game was a little much for someone with limited time on their hands. Though I did go back and play it on my Super NT, which took me quite a bit longer. After that, I played Metroid Zero Mission. This is the Metroid game I should have started with. It is so good. It's a remake of the original Metroid game on the NES. If you're thinking about jumping into the Metroid series, I highly recommend playing Zero Mission first. Then I moved on to Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. It's a remake of Metroid 2. I loved playing this game with the 3D slider cranked all the way to the top. I actually 100%ed it. After playing the first two Metroid games, I decided to once again play through Super Metroid. This time I played it on my purple and new 2DS XL, and I liked playing it on there. It's a great game that deserves all the praise it gets. Staying on the new 2DS XL, I went right into Metroid Fusion after finishing Super Metroid. It's a more linear Metroid game, but it retains that Metroid magic. After beating Fusion, I jumped headfirst into Metroid Dread. This game is great. Difficult, but great. The new Emmy enemies, they really put the fear in me. I dreaded going into those sections of the map. Dread has the same sort of feel Samus Return has, which is a good thing. Samus controls like a dream in this game. I'm contemplating another playthrough. As I look at the consoles I picked up this past year, it's apparent that I had big aspirations. I bought 8 new consoles. All of them are brand new. Well, 5 of them are brand new, and 3 are refurbished. When I look at them all together, I wonder why I spent my money on consoles I haven't opened and played. With the Super NT, I already have one, but I wanted a backup that I could use in another room. I know that the console is tiny and easy to move around, but I don't want to do that. I want to have it ready in the other room, so I got another one. The Mega SG is a different story. After playing the Sega Genesis Mini in 2020, I really wanted to explore the Genesis game library. So I picked up the analog Mega SG for that authentic Sega Genesis experience. I even got the M30 8-bit Do controller to complement the authenticity. But that Genesis game session never happened. Both the console and controller are still sitting in their boxes unopened. Wait, I can explain. I don't care about it anymore. My enthusiasm for the Genesis has dropped off a cliff. I'm still interested in it, and I want to play it, but it will most likely be a while before I do. I got the purple new 2DS XL because, spoiler alert, I like 3DS consoles. And that purple is gorgeous. It's one of my favorites in my 3DS collection. The 2 original 2DS consoles I got were impulse buys. I got 2 thinking I would gift one, but I don't know. Would the person receiving it really appreciate what it is? I love the Legend of Zelda games and Game & Watch handhelds. Putting the two together was an easy sell for me and tons of other people. It's a cool little novelty piece. The addition of Link's Awakening was also nice to see. The Switch OLED has been the console I've used the most out of all the consoles I bought this year. I love this thing. The screen makes every game look amazing. It's made me look into buying an OLED TV so all my game consoles can look as good as they do on it. Yes, it's the same old Switch, but I don't care. Games look incredible on it. The Pokemon Special Edition Switch Lite was influenced by my buddy Beach Pizza Gaming. He got one and it made me a little envious. It's a good looking Switch Lite, so I ran out and bought one. I have yet to open it because I just got the Switch OLED. And, like I just barely said, the OLED screen makes games look incredible. I'm sure I'll get around to opening it someday, probably the same day that I open up my Hylian Shield new 2DS XL. "2021 was a strange year in gaming for me. I played quite a few games, but only beat a handful of them. From old favorites to a single new release. If I had to sum up this year with what I played, it was definitely the year I discovered Metroid. And I'm glad I finally put the time into playing them. I don't know what next year has in store for me, but I hope it's as good as this year was. If there's one thing I'd like to tell 2021, it would be,
Beat it.